All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Hopefully, we can get a couple more folks in the chat. Um, I want to respect your guys' time, so we'll go ahead and get started. Um, okay, so yeah, it looks like so today we had a little more stability within the crypto markets. Good thing to see. Got BTC at 41K, ETH at 3K, ADA back at 185, and the our beloved BNB back at 400. So, as expected, guys, I know for a lot of you, myself included, not only are we launching a project this week, but it's just been a hell of a week. So emotions are high. I know on the team hasn't been a lot of sleep, and it's just been a rough week. But the good news is tomorrow's Friday, or for some of you guys, depending on where you may be, it may already be Friday. And next week's a new week, and we're continuing to grind forward as a team and as a community, regardless of what the broader market wants to do. So anyway, just wanted to note that things are starting to look a little better in terms of the broader market. I know the chart's not sexy yet, but we still got time. Okay, so let's see. Today, I got a couple different things I want to talk about. Um, as you may have seen, so the Taste NFT drop. Um, okay, so this is important for a number of reasons, and actually, I think we're gonna be reposting it in a you know, just Mikey just called me and he wanted to post it like in another way. I'm not very technologically savvy, so we're gonna get that up there. But the content won't change. So I'll save you guys the details. I know everyone can read. I'm not going to drone on about that. But the important thing that I want to kind of discuss with you guys tonight is the Taste NFT drop, which, as you guys know, we actually kind of, signaled that we were going to do this, um, a couple days ago. But we wanted to give you guys more detail on it. So that's kind of the purpose behind tonight's post. Okay. But okay, so why are we doing this though? That's kind of the key question here. And there's a couple different reasons, and I would just like to highlight some of the most important ones. Okay, so as you guys know, our flagship product, and really, what we are going to build this business off of in this community is the NFT marketplace. Okay, um, and as I've communicated and or tried to communicate to you guys, um, this is the primary value proposition behind our project. There's a lot of projects out there that do not have sustainable business models. Some of them are able to survive for quite long on hype and management alone, but ultimately you have to have a sustainable business model in order to survive. It is no coincidence that even out of the top 20 cryptocurrencies right now, the coins that have utility, or will have utility in ADA's case, are rebounding faster than others. Okay, Bitcoin's its own thing. It's the OG crypto, right? So kind of set aside Bitcoin. Just look at the top 10, 20, 100 coins. The coins that have actual use case scenarios are the ones that are rebounding much faster than the others. And there's a reason for that. Okay. Having utility behind the coin is absolutely essential. And that is what we're striving to do here. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I know I say that all the time, but you know, that is ultimately what we are working hard toward. So why do the Taste NFT drop? Like what's the purpose behind that? Just another PR stunt? Well, I mean, there's a PR element to it, obviously, but you know, the primary reason why we decided that we wanted to do this is not only to reward the members of the community who have held this token through a very, very volatile launch in a very volatile week, just in the crypto space writ large, but also to give you guys a taste, no pun intended, of the type of NFT that will ultimately be traded on our marketplace. Okay. So that is the primary intent. Because here's the thing, okay? We are, and I speak on behalf of the team here. This isn't just me. I talked to Mikey and I talked to Kyle and I talked to all the guys who are doing the real work behind the scenes um, every day. All right, I just get up here and I just kind of jabber on, but I mean they're the ones that are actually making real stuff happen. Okay, and I talk to them every day, and you know when it comes to the marketplace, we are pushing very aggressively to get it done in a time efficient manner, but also balancing, um, the quality and the functionality of the marketplace. Because we all understand that if we don't produce a quality product for you guys, this project will not survive. Okay. But we also understand that if we take 6 months, or in crypto, even 2 months to do this, the project will also, it may survive, but it'll be a rough time. Okay. So that is our primary focus. But in the meantime, it's like, okay, what do we do? And there's a lot of questions, and guys, we're reading everything you send us. It's not just me. Mikey gets them, Kyle gets them, Jack Black gets them, Seiko gets them, you know, Adrian gets them, Hello gets them. We all get these questions, okay? What's the brand? What's the marketing strategy? What are we doing to really solidify ourselves within this market? Okay. You guys are dropping these suggestions, comments, concerns, questions in our DMs every single day. All right. And we hear you. So, in the interim, while we're in the back end working hard to create that quality product for you, we want to show you an example of what will be traded ultimately on our platform. Okay. Now, this brings up another very, very important point. Okay. These NFTs that we're going to debut on 28 May. Okay. They're going to be dropped to 25 wallets within the community based on the parameters that we have specified in the post. These two NFTs are merely examples. They're merely a taste of what is to come. Okay. So, again, I want to reiterate this point because it's very important. These two NFTs are simply an example of the type of products that you guys are ultimately going to see traded on our platform. Okay. Why is it so important? Well, I think the reason why it's really important to stress that point is because it seems like there's kind of been a narrative building in the land of Telegram, whether it's the backroom Telegram channels or the chaos of the main chat, that somehow we as a management team are going to dictate every single NFT that is listed on our marketplace. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, that is what we have seen in the DMs. That is what we have heard um, from your comments, both in the AMAs, but also just in the main chat. And, that I think is really indicative of our communication to you guys as a community. Okay. We need to do better. I need to do better at talking to you guys and communicating what it is Taste NFT actually is. Okay. So, um, to that end, I want to make it very, very clear that the two NFTs that we drop next week are just examples. Okay. And we, as a management team, are not going to be the NFT police on what is listed and what is not listed on the platform once it becomes fully operational. Okay. The platform will have parameters. And as you guys know, there will be two categories. Okay. Tasteful and tasteless. And when you have categories, they're categories for a reason. But ultimately, we, I'm talking on behalf of me, Mikey, Nadina, and all the moderator staff, we are not going to be the ones who are making and producing these NFTs. We simply can't. Okay. This is, and as is noted in our white paper, this is a decentralized NFT marketplace. Okay. It's not only decentralized in how it's configured, technically, which it is, it's decentralized, which we have primarily done as a means to keep this or keep the true integrity of DeFi, but also too, there's cybersecurity, considerations which we've taken into account. But also too, you know, decentralized means the content itself is not centralized and censored by an overly aggressive um, management team. Okay, the way that Mikey and Nadina and the rest of the founding team envision this is a marketplace. In a market, in a free market anyway, you don't dictate every little thing that's traded. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of make that very clear because I feel like up until this point, it hasn't been entirely clear. It's been like, well, first of all, what is a tasteful and what is a tasteless NFT? And who's going to dictate, who's going to create those and are there going to be partners and yada, yada, yada. Guys, the people who create the art, the actual sensual NFTs themselves, they're the ones that are going to dictate what is tasteful and what is tasteless. We are merely providing them the platform to showcase their art. And it's not a platform like OpenSea or Rarible or Mintable, which is basically just a huge, well, I mean, it's a sea of NFTs, no real focus. And there's a place in the market for a mass platform like that. Absolutely. Okay. But our platform is boutique, it's focused. And because of that, we're going to carve out a very specific niche, which we will specialize in and we will monopolize because there simply isn't another alternative on the market right now. And also, too, as a couple of you have mentioned to me, Mikey, and the crew, because our brand is not boxed in to any one category. What I mean by that is we're not boxed into tasteful or tasteless. I've had some of you guys even bring up tasty. You know, um, there is flexibility within our brand, which will allow for future expansion. This is key because there is a lot of projects out there which specialize a little too much. And what do they ultimately do? Well, once they get big, they limit their future growth. So, I've seen this time and time again, whether it's on the street or it's in the valley. Um, you have to specialize in something, otherwise you're doing nothing. That is true. But you also don't want to specialize so much that you have no room for future growth. Okay. So I just wanted to really hammer that home tonight. And I know there's only 39 of you on the chat or 40 or so. But this is something that we're going to be communicating and we're really going to be fleshing out formally as a team over the next week because it's become clear to us that there's confusion within the ranks and within the community. And, that we need to take an additional step to really communicate to you guys what it is that we're doing. And we believe that once we do that, you guys will agree that this is the right way. Because realistically, there's like what, 10 or 15 of us on the management team, plus, a couple extra mods. So, but guys, we are not content creators. We're not going to be creating these NFTs. I can tell you for one thing, I'm not. I don't have an artistic bone in my body. All I know how to do is talk. Okay. This is going to be a platform that we're going to use to attract those people. And ultimately, they are going to decide. And we're going to give them the guidelines and we're going to help organize it so it's structured. Otherwise, it's just mass chaos. But ultimately, that is what's going to dictate what type of content is traded on this marketplace. Okay. So anyway, like I said, we are going to really flesh this out. Um, you know, a couple of you have noted that the white paper is a little brief and you want more detail and all that stuff, we've heard you. Okay. So we are going to be we're going to start working on it this weekend, and I would love to start working on it today, but unfortunately, I do have a real job, and so do a number of the other members of the moderator team and the management team. Not to mention all the other things that we're doing, right? Which that's not really Taste NFT. That's just what you do in a DeFi project. And I'm talking about CoinGecko. I'm talking about Coin Market Cap. I'm talking about getting on the exchange, which we did today, one day ahead of schedule. Um, this is not a project that is unique. Okay. That is what every single project has to do. And we have focused on those kind of, box checking exercise. But ultimately, what we're going to focus on in the next week and the week after that, which will culminate in the NFT marketplace launch in June, that is what you guys are investing in. Okay, you're not investing in the coin market cap pump, guys. The coin market cap, it's gonna come. Okay, it's gonna come. CoinGecko came within 24 hours. You guys are going to get a pump off of CoinMarketCap. If you guys are waiting for that and you just want to trade the momentum, go for it. Okay. And there's plenty of projects where you can do that. That is not CoinMarketCap listing or Coinbit listing or, you know, that is not our value proposition. It just isn't. Okay. That is just what we have to do. And that is what every project has to do. And a lot of projects don't even do that. All right. What we are focused on, what the real meat and potatoes behind our brand is, that's what we're going to focus on. And that is what you guys ultimately are investing in. Okay. So I'm not going to kind of drone on about this for too long. I know you guys probably have some questions, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there. And over the course of the next week, you guys are going to get a lot more detail from us in a formalized document, which will supplement our white paper. And on top of that, you're going to get two examples. But again, I stress they're examples. Okay. We are working with an artist in the UK. Kyle and the marketing team have found, is working with him closely. But even those two examples, we're not telling him exactly what to do. He's an artist. Okay. You don't tell an artist what to do. Creativity cannot be constrained. If it is, that's not creativity. Okay. So just wanted to stress that. You guys are going to see an example. We're going to give it away to 25 lucky wallet holders. And we are going to continue pressing forward on what is our flagship project, our flagship product, regardless of what BNB, Bitcoin, and Elon Musk and all these folks want to do. Okay. All right. So with that, let's see. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much kind of the meat and potatoes behind tonight's AMA. Um, I do want to just say a few words though for some of the guys who have been grinding really hard behind the scenes. And primarily, I want to focus on the moderator staff because um, Mikey, myself and Dina, we all know we haven't been present. Um, we've been so consumed by just checking those boxes, which I know they sound so easy, to say like, oh yeah, coin market cap, just get it done. Guys, it's a lot of work. And that's not an excuse. I'm just saying once you experience on the back end, it's actually not that easy. But you know what? We could not focus on those things and we could not accomplish them if it wasn't for our dedicated moderator staff because those guys are grinding just as hard, if not harder than us, to make sure that there's no FUD, there's no disinformation. They're keeping the morale up. They're helping with the poll that we had the other day, rallying the troops, keeping a pulse on the morale of the troops. I mean, guys, that is a full-time job, and that is really, quite frankly, one of the most important jobs as a battlefield commander. You cannot know how your 2,000 troops or 500 troops or however big your outfit is, you cannot know how they all feel. You just can't. The only way to do that is by talking to your NCOs, and that is what the moderators are doing. They're not only banning the guys who are trying to spread FUD or um, kind of patrolling the chat, but they're also listening to everything and they're relaying it back to us. Without that, we could not function as a management team. So I really want to thank some of these folks. I'm just going to call out a few names. It's not everybody, but I want to thank, and I know he's probably asleep right now, but I want to thank Adrian, Trust the Snake. I want to thank Seiko, who's been grinding really hard, hasn't been sleeping much. I know how it feels, brother. I want to thank Mike D. I want to thank Yama B. And I mean, the list goes on. We got Nick, Papa Crypto, as I call him, kind of dropping his wisdom on the crypto market every day. We've got, Bromley. We've got all the Australians. I mean, guys, we have a good crew here. These are folks that care about you. They care about this community. Oh, and I didn't even mention the 1,500 Indonesians, which are just growing every single day. I'm going to owe them a B&B real soon because those folks are not only growing, but man, that chat, I don't know what the hell they're saying in there, but it's filled with positive vibes. That's all I can say. Um, it's really great to come home every day after a really long, shitty day at my regular job and have such dedicated folks behind the scenes taking care of business. Um, so anyway, I don't want to toot our horn too much because I also want to thank you guys, the investors. I know it's been a terrible week. Believe me, I'm down 50% or more on a lot of my positions. I'm even down on this one, despite the fact that I got in on the pre-sale, primarily because I kept buying afterwards. So I'm down too, guys. Not only down on this, I'm down on well, I'm not down on Cardano. I got on that one pretty early. But bottom line is, I'm down too, guys. It's been a rough week. I know it has. A lot of emotions, a lot of frustration. People are looking at the charts. Understand, okay? I can't promise there's going to be a green candle every single day, and every day is going to be a huge bull run. But what I can promise is that we are going to continue working for you guys. This isn't a rug. We're not going anywhere, and we are going to accomplish mission. And we have a hell of a team to do that. And for all you guys who have stuck with us this week and will continue to stick with us, I think that you will genuinely be very pleased with your decision in about a month from now. It's not going to be easy to hold, but I really do believe that. Otherwise, I wouldn't get up here and I wouldn't spend every night. I only have a couple hours to myself each night after a long day at work. I wouldn't spend some of my limited free time on this project. So, okay, that's enough talk from me. I'm sure you guys have a few questions, comments, smart remarks. As always, I'm going to open up the floor to Q&A. So as always, raise your hand, say what you got to say, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. And if I can't, we've got the CEO himself, we got the CTO herself, and we got a number of mods in here which can chime in and make sure your question is answered. Okay. All right. Floor is open for Q&A, guys. Who's first? Okay, we got JB. What's up, JB?
Hey, do you have anything to add about the 10% marketing wallet that's going to be opened up tomorrow?
So it's actually not going to be opened up tomorrow. It's going to be opened up on Saturday. And, we are going to be making a decision about that tomorrow. Right now, nothing has changed unless Mikey wants to chime in here. But as far as I understand, as of this particular moment, nothing has changed. However, like you guys, we're looking at the market cap. We're looking at where we are. And we also are pretty familiar with the costs because we're funding them out of our pocket. And, I'm just going to go on a limb here and say it probably doesn't make a lot of sense for us to start taking money out of the marketing wallet. However, we are going to put something out tomorrow before it opens up, and we will telegraph that very clearly to the community because there's a lot of people. I mean, even if we were at our all-time high, what were we, like a $21 million market cap? Even when we were at that point, there's people who think they're smarter than the system, and they like to game the unlocking of the marketing wallet. So, irrespective of our current market cap and current position, that is something that we are going to make a very clear announcement on before it actually unlocks. Okay. So, and we're considering all options. All right, to include locking it up further.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that actually. Anyone actually wants to see the schedule of the wallet actually when it unlocks, they can just go and monitor the line. I don't think we're gonna say exactly when funds will be used, if they will be used out of the marketing wallet. but everyone has to use their own judgment if they want to try to time the second it unlocks the sell and then the second that it goes to buy back in. But yeah, that's not fair to the entire community actually to say, oh, we're going to spend right now and everyone sells. I can say that we don't have any immediate need to use a lot of funds, and as Shay did put it, it wouldn't make much sense to use funds right now with the current market conditions. So again, not going to say when they will be or when they won't be used, but yeah, it's 10%. As everyone can see, it's very transparent online. But yeah, we have spent a decent amount of personal funds to get things moving forward fairly quickly between audits, the coins bit, and several other things in development. Won't go into too much detail, but it's a lot so far. But that stuff is in the works right now, and ideally, if we need to use any funds from the marketing wallet, I personally hope that it would be in a better climate than we're in right now. So that's pretty much all I can say about it right now. And I hope you guys can, make your best decision off of that.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. Yeah, guys. I mean, like I said, there's people out there who try to game the system, and they think they're smarter than everyone else, and they're gonna, you know, they're gonna time their buys right where the marketing wallet opens, and because of that, we are not going to tell you exactly the exact moment when we're going to take money out of it. But as Mikey clearly telegraphed right this moment, probably doesn't make too much sense for us to be drawing upon it right now. So, yeah, with that. And also, too, I will add that, and this is something that Mikey wouldn't say, but, a majority of the costs are being burdened by him. Okay. So if any of you guys have any doubt on the leadership and our commitment to this, just look no further than your own CEO. Okay, I'll tell you right now, all those huge costs, whether it's CoinsBit, whether it's the audit, whether any of that stuff, you guys can look it up, see how much it costs. Okay, he's been paying for that out of pocket. All right. Yeah, I've chipped in here and there, and so the other boys. But at the end of the day, he has been putting his own capital behind this project, and that uh, you know, actions speak louder than words. Okay. He wouldn't be doing that if he didn't think that this was going to succeed or if he didn't want it to succeed. Okay. So just let that marinate for a little bit. Um, thanks, JB. Did we answer your question?
Yep, that's good. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, brother. All right. Let's see. Anyone else out there? We got a few. We've got a Serene Dream. I'm a rock and a hard place. Uh-oh. What's up, Serene?
Hey, so you kind of answered half of my question, I guess, which is good because it would have.
All right. What's the other half?
So would you like for us to start trying to bring in creators to the Telegram? Maybe provide some examples of their tasteful work anyway, and get people rallied around that stuff at this point? Or is this maybe too early for that?
Well, so it's a good question. And I think, again, there's a little confusion on exactly how all that's going to work. And a lot of that's born out of the fact that we don't have our platform complete yet, right? And
Of
that's not unique to the similar DeFi projects. Actually, I would say what is unique is the speed in which we're going to get it done. So as far as creators go, you know, I would say bringing them into the chat right now. I mean, there's no harm in that. However, it's something because okay, so here's the thing, guys. We are already in contact with a number of creators. Okay, we wouldn't be able to launch, or I'm sorry, we wouldn't be able to offer, this NFT drop next week if we weren't already in contact with creators. Um, but here's the thing. Uh, bringing creators in right now, it's like, okay, you bring them in and then see, they want to get paid. Like they want us to pay them to create. That's not the way the business model works. Okay. Yes. We are giving you guys a sneak peek or a taste of the types of things that we envision will ultimately be traded on the platform. But, you know, we cannot predict or we cannot foresee all the type of, content that is ultimately going to be traded because the platform's not operational yet. That's kind of like asking, or that's kind of like trying to guess what products are going to be listed on eBay tomorrow. I mean, it depends on the sellers. And in this case, it'd be the content creators. However, I think a more important question is, and it's a very important question indeed, is are we going to be able to attract content creators once the platform is operational? That is the important part. Because here's the thing, okay? We are not going to be paying people to produce content, okay? We are not going to be doing that, all right? We are going to be providing them a platform or a marketplace to trade their NFTs. And ultimately, they are going to receive a good chunk of change for all the transactions that take place on that marketplace. That is their reward.
And this actually feeds back into what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Inviting people here to provide samples of the work they would be making, and
Mhm.
obviously get involved in the community, on the ground level.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like I said, um, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think or not the problem, but I think what you may run into, we've already run into it a couple times already, is that you're going to find people who are going to be wanting to sell their content to us. But as I'm trying, as I guess what I was trying to say is, we are not the ultimate decision-making authority on what will ultimately be traded. They will upload it on the marketplace. So, to answer your question, you know, there is absolutely no harm in kind of bringing those artists in before the marketplace launches, as long as it's not being marketed or it's not being communicated that we're looking to commission work. Okay, because we want to bring them in, but at the end of the day, like, I suspect a lot of these artists are probably going to want to join once the marketplace is available, because that's when they can actually make money, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but no, hey, you know what? That's a good question, man. And hey, look, if you guys know any artists out there who do want to get in on the ground level and they do want to, become part of the community before the marketplace launches, absolutely. I mean, that is absolutely a great thing. And there are a few of you guys out there, actually. Um, so, so yeah, Mike, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. Uh, I just wanted to point out, actually, I'm not sure if it's actually very clear to a lot of folks, actually, at least my vision, why the taste token is going to have a lot of utility, and I believe it's going to blow up actually in the future, is that the token actually itself, its main utility is going to be the only way that you can acquire in these NFTs off of marketplace once it launches. So this is kind of the model a little bit that Binance follows with their BNB. You have to have BNB to do a lot of things. It makes it a requirement to participate in different marketplaces. So to participate in ours, you're gonna have to have the taste token to do so. So being that that's the case, if we do bring on people before the marketplace is launched, maybe we can see based off of timelines. I know we're already, was it 20th of May, and we're pushing the launches in June. We're already currently going through the process of talking with artists, and gonna do some additional drops before that happens. So I just don't see, it's not gonna be like, 2, 3 months down the line, so I don't see much of time to do that. But if they're interested, of course, as any investor in this project, they can acquire tokens, before the marketplace launches. And then once it does, they would then be able to go onto the platform, and they could, create their own art and put it up on the marketplace. That is something that I think, if anyone wants to explain to any artist that they know, let them know that's happening in the near future. But I think that's probably the best option, just to explain to them, like, and most people know, like, I think what an NFT is, and like how it can be utilized on a marketplace like ours. So I hope that explains it. Like, people have been talking to me a lot about, oh, I want to bring in models, or I want to bring in someone actually to make NFTs. It's like, well, We're doing the ones we have right now for the holders before the marketplace launches. But besides that, um, there's not a lot of time before that happens, between then and now. So I hope that answers your question with that. But they're totally welcome to acquire the token and then, pay attention to all the updates and then get ready to hop on it once it launches. So,
Yeah. That's a great answer. Thank you very much.
okay.
Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, guys, it's all about the platform. All right, it's all about the platform. A marketplace is free market. Okay, free market. So there's a direction. There's the two pillars, and the artist will drop their unique art in those two pillars. But at the end of the day, we ourselves are not creating it. It's a marketplace. And as Mikey noted, and I kind of noted it earlier too, but just a foot stomp, it is the utility behind that coin, behind our coin, that is ultimately going to lead to its appreciation in value. So yeah, it's a very important point. Thank you for the question there, Serene. Appreciate it, brother. All right, anyone else out there have any questions? We got we have let's see, TB. What's up, TB? You might have to unmute your mic there, buddy. TB, going once, going twice. All right, I'll come back to you. All right, we have Louise. What's going on, Louise? Gonna have to unmute your mic.
Hey guys.
There we
Yeah,
go.
actually, I got the same mistake. Yeah. Actually, you earlier mentioned that there is a parallel group into Indonesian language. I want to know if there is all other groups in different other languages or just English and Indonesian so far.
Yeah, hey man, that's a good question. The Indonesian group has kind of like spontaneously just grown faster than any other group. We had a couple of very enthusiastic mods over there, Dandelion 69 and Samola. If you guys are out there listening, thank you, because not only did they ask me and Mikey to create the Indonesian group, but they've also done a very good job of growing it. So that's kind of how that started. And as far as other groups, there are a few. There's a Turkish group, which I think has like 20 something people in there. There's a Dutch group, and I believe there's one more. Let me see. It's not sticking on me right now. A Russian group. So yeah, so there's a few. But yeah, I mean, if you have any suggestions, or if you like to create a group for your language, absolutely we can do that. I think what we've been doing to date is we've been kind of looking at, okay, um, you know, is there a high concentration of people? Is there a demand, basically? Because I mean, I can sit here and get my thumbs moving, and I can make 100 different foreign language groups, but if we don't have members of the community that are within those groups yet, then it doesn't quite make sense to make them. It doesn't make sense to make them yet. However, that being said, and this is something that I like to emphasize, is that we are very much looking at foreign markets. And when I say foreign markets, I mean, this is a global project, so that's actually kind of a silly word to use. But I think we're very English heavy. So, we're talking about, the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and England. And then obviously our, European friends who are much smarter than the Americans and speak many languages. Um, but there's a lot of projects out there that totally ignore the Asian market, for example, and a lot of that has to do with language. Every morning when I post my update, I don't know if you guys have dropped into the Indonesian room, Indonesian chat room or not, but I also kind of asked somebody in the community. I was like, hey, can anyone translate some English to Bahasa? And I almost always get a volunteer, and they get it done within like 10 minutes. And I do my due diligence. I kind of plug it into Google Translate just to make sure like they didn't sneak some cuss words in there or whatever. But we've got some trusted mods over there, and because of that, that community has grown. So, sorry, I don't mean to draw on too long, but Luis, if you have a suggestion for another group, and if you personally know, a good number of folks who would like that made, then we can absolutely do that for you.
Actually, what I'm thinking, I mean, this community is 6,000. Maybe make a pool to know if there is a c- kind of a concentrated group who may want a separate language. I can post in some other groups I have. I mean, just share the link of this group and see if there is people coming from different countries. I want to, I don't know, maybe focus on Asian, but I really don't have many Chinese content. They will be really strong if they we can grow a community, a Chinese community. But I'm not quite sure if we can achieve. But we can work with what we have already. So like we're 6K, so maybe there can pop like in the Indonesian case, maybe another group in another language, like I don't know,
Y-
it's something
Yeah,
like an idea.
absolutely, man. No, it's a good idea. It's something that we're thinking about. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other things kind of that we've been focusing on, but you know, personally, I have a background in East Asia, so one of the things I've been thinking is like, I mean, you brought up, like a Chinese community. Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese out there, and they love crypto, despite the Chinese central bank's recent FUD regarding Bitcoin. They don't care. They use VPNs and they still trade it. In Korea is one of the largest cryptocurrency markets in the world. So I mean, like, absolutely. But I think it all boils down to language. You know, I mean, I can write up Japanese, Korean, and a little Chinese, but I can't speak Bahasa. I can't speak Spanish. I can't speak. There's a lot of languages I can't speak. But I mean, if there's a demand out there, then we will absolutely answer it. And then even if there isn't a demand out there, then we are absolutely going to be looking at those markets and looking to expand into them, because I've seen a lot of different microcap crypto projects, and almost 99% of them are focused on 4 or 5 markets. You know, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, United States, maybe like a couple other random little places here and there. But that is a lot of untapped market potential. And again, it's not only the brand, but it's about the strategy. I kind of mentioned this when we talk about exchanges, and this is something that Mikey and I have talked about, and also the team. It's where you place those exchanges is very key, because um, there are places in the world that I mean, that trade on different exchanges, and you're going to attract a different type of investor. And really, all it takes is a little Google Translate, or maybe like a little translation combined with K4's amazing graphics, and boom, you just grew an entire new community. So we're definitely thinking of it. I would be curious to see what your feedback is. Shoot me a DM after you kind of ask around a little bit. And you also brought up the you brought up polls. I'm glad you brought that up, because we are also, so I mentioned we're going to be looking at formalizing our marketing strategy as a supplement to our white paper. That is something that we're going to begin working on this weekend. And one of the things that we've been talking, and actually a couple of you guys have also mentioned to us, putting a few, is we want to get a better gauge, kind of what the community is thinking, and polls are a good way to kind of get a good asthma check on the community's thoughts, morale, and also too, it provides us with data, which Jack Black, Kyle, and the marketing team are also going to have, from kind of the ad campaigns that they're running now. So we take that data and we synthesize it into our vision for the project, and the suggestions and feedback we get from you guys, and we use it to formulate a marketing strategy. Which, when I say like marketing strategy and white paper, it sounds like super formal, very like Wall Street-esque kind of stuff. Just know it's not like a rigid kind of set in stone, like step one, step two, step three. It's a living document, right? But the bottom line is, I think a lot of, and I've witnessed this in other DeFi projects as well. um, a lot of times people have all the ideas in their head, but kind of organizing it on paper, it does help. It helps the founders, it helps the community, it really helps everybody. So that's why we're looking at doing that. But thank you for mentioning foreign communities, and also thank you for mentioning the polls. Those are very important points that we're going to be looking at in the days to come.
Yeah, in the meantime, I will try to spread the voice and some other groups, so maybe some people interested just to join the community. Maybe in the future, as you mentioned, we can formalize the other groups. So in order to the community to grow and they have their own language, they feel more comfortable maybe having a voice in Spanish or Japanese. Well, you have already the Bahasa one, but yeah, on that way, I like that idea.
Cool.
Totally.
Yeah, man. Me too. I'm all for it. So yeah, shoot me a DM with kind of some of the feedback you get, and if anyone else out there has a would like to see a community and there's demand for it, like I said, we'll make it happen. All right. All right. Let's see. Anyone else out there? There's TB. He's back. What's up, TB? How's it going, man?
Be good. Yo, doing good. Surviving this dip.
Yeah, diamond hands. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah. Just stepped away for a little bit, so I'm just like trying to catch up, see where the community's at, and see how this is developing. And I was just wondering, like someone kind of answered it to where there'll be like tasteful and tasteless and NFTs. So I mean, not necessarily like that they're all going to be not safe for work, but all like pretty sensual NFTs.
Yep, that's the theme.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I was just wondering if I missed something and there was going to be like just normal NFTs on there and stuff.
No. So yeah, I mean, I'll just try to hammer this point home just one more time. So yeah, so the brand is sensual NFTs, right? Within that, we have two pillars. We have the tasteful and we have the tasteless. Okay, and obviously, whenever you have a category, there are certain parameters which kind of not dictate but guide what products will ultimately be listed under that category. Okay, now when you're talking about art, um, you know art is driven by creativity, and creativity, as some would say, like in their most purest form, knows no bounds, right? Well, obviously, if we have no parameters whatsoever, then there's nothing stopping me from loading up an NFT of my super sexy Nissan 350Z, which I think is the sexiest thing in the world. I'm not even gonna lie, I love that car. But there's nothing stopping me from loading anything that I perceive to be very sexy up on the marketplace, right? So there has to be some sort of parameter, because otherwise we're just open sea. Open sea, that's what they do. It's just like, hey, here you go. Here's a sea. Just upload your NFT here and whatever. I mean, like, there's categories, but anything goes. There's categories for everything. Um, and I think on the first AMA, somebody asked me, they were like, well, do you view OpenSea as a direct competitor? And I said, no. And the reason for that is because we are specializing and we are carving out a very unique niche within the market, right? And that's the only way for a small project like us to survive and to kind of build our market cap, is we focus on something that is unique, but also not so unique that we box ourselves in and we have no room for future growth, right? So, as you pointed out, the overarching theme of our marketplace is sensual NFTs, which is fairly niche, right? But within that, you're going to have different subcategories. And to start, the two primary pillars that we're building this foundation on is tasteful and tasteless. Okay. But at the end of the day, and I feel like, there's been a little miscommunication on our part when it comes to this. Um, you know, Mikey, me, Nadina, and Adrian and I, we're not making the NFTs, right? This isn't Jay and Mikey's marketplace, or Nadina and Adrian's marketplace. This is the Taste NFT marketplace, right? So those content creators who have all that creativity and passion, and they're the ones that are ultimately going to create that art, that sensual art, and place it on our marketplace. All we are going to do is we're going to empower them by giving them the platform that is specialized and really draws in, not only talent from that particular community, because there is a very strong and a very there is a lot of money in sensual art. Like, forget NFTs for a second. Like, just think back to like the Michelangelos of the world. I mean, there's I mean, some of that art is sensual, right? I mean, think of like kind of the old school stuff that you'll see hanging up in museums. So there's a big market for that. People pay millions of dollars for that kind of stuff. Okay. So this is our niche. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to constrain and we're not going to police all of the content that is on there. Obviously, there will be some guidelines. And obviously, you can't post stuff that's like against the law or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we want to make it to where it's an open marketplace that is specialized, but people still have room to express their creativity. And we believe that by doing that, we will organically. I mean, someone else earlier asked, well, who are you bringing in? And, are you talking to people? The answer is yes, we are. However, we also believe that it's not actually going to be up to us to bring all those people in because, eventually people who are within that community, and especially those that are making NFTs, are going to hear about us and they're going to be like, oh, dude, I have artwork. I want to sell it there because I want to make money, you know? So that is the concept, you know? Uber doesn't ask people to become Uber drivers. Drivers apply to Uber, okay? And I'm not saying artists are equivalent to Uber drivers because that's kind of a ridiculous comparison, but you get the idea. This really fits with the decentralized nature of what we're offering, okay? So I hope that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, no, that totally does. I wasn't really like expecting like full not safe for work content. And I think it's good to have them both because like you were saying, it's like, so like there is sensual art that's going to be hanging up in museums, hanging up in people's houses. And so it's good to expand out like outside of just not safe for work content. And then one more thing, I heard that you were talking about your marketplace will be powered by Taste, unlike other marketplaces that are like all paid for and like Warp BNB or Wrapped BNB. And do you think how do you think that's going to affect the price? Like when you see larger payouts?
You mean the price of Taste?
Yeah, like that's my only like. It's not really like a huge concern, but it's just something that like popped in my head. Like,
yeah, no, it's a good question, man. I mean, I would just ask you look what it did to the price of BNB or Ethereum. You know, when there is a use case, and when people have to use your currency to buy things that they want, then they're going to use it, right?
oh
They're
yeah,
willing to
yeah,
use it. Well, then
yeah.
also
No, I'm
too,
more
though.
talking. Oh,
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
I'm more talking about like when they sell off. So like, let's say like someone comes in and sells a piece for the equivalent of like 100,000 US dollars worth of Taste.
Mm-hmm.
And that person will have like selling pressure for sure. If they're just like a regular artist, like if they're a regular artist that like stumbles upon your platform, and doesn't really see the platform or the token as like an investment, but more of just like a way to get money. That's just where, like I said, like it's not really like a concern, but it's just like something that I'm considering right now. Like I'm not considering like. Don't take this as like FUD or like anything. Anybody in the chat, like I'm really just asking this to like see your response.
Yeah, I can add to that if you don't mind, Jay.
Yeah, go for it, Mike.
All right, so yeah, we're talking. Let's just do some math on this. So we got a piece of art that's for sale, and it's something like $100,000 worth of Taste, right? Now, somebody to buy that, they have to spend $100,000 on Taste first. So they take that and they give it to the artist, and you're right, the artist could sell the entire 100,000, which then brings it back to zero. So if anything, what's going to happen is that we're going to see high volatility bouncing back and forth with the 10% redistribution to all holders. That's given the artist completely decides to sell every single token that they made. I'm going to assume that's not going to be the case, but the folks that are holding during that wild time are going to be making a lot. But you're going to see volume start going up a lot, from my opinion on it. Because yeah, you're right. There will be buys and sells, but they have to acquire it first. So if they list them for sale, if somebody wants it, they got to go buy it. So there's gonna be a big bump up, and there might be a bump down, then there may be another bump up. But that's what I think it's gonna play out. You know.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, for sure. And then like, will you like possibly add like a burning mechanism whenever stuff is like purchased or anything, or like you getting
Well,
redistributed?
that's the fun thing about our tokenomics. The burn is automatically already configured in. So as all this with the high volatility happening like this, so our tokenomics are not based off of time. They're based off of movement. The more volatility that we have in our token, the faster it burns. Which the faster it burns, so it means the less there are available. So it only benefits people that are holding that we increase the volatility, because that rapidly increases the price because more tokens are pretty much just wiped out of existence. So from my technical, like the way I look at the math, like I welcome the volatility because it wipes out a hell of a lot of tokens really quickly.
Yeah.
TP, I'd just like to add to what Mikey's saying. So you've just got to think about as well, some people that have come in, they're not going to hold the token for its great tokenomics and its utility value that it has. Some people are going to want to just come in and purchase the NFT, right? So what sort of Mikey's trying to sort of explain to you is that the people that aren't holding Taste or into Taste, to acquire that NFT, obviously, what are they going to buy? Taste, right? So you're going to have people that aren't in the platform that still do have to buy the coin to purchase the NFT. So yes, there is going to be volatility, but as the platform grows and grows and gets popular, and I mean, the quality that the guys are talking about is high quality. It's not like like the stuff isn't like selfie quality, So I think over time, as people buy the Taste coin to buy the NFT, it's kind of like they're coming in. So there is buying and sell. There's good buy and sell pressure.
Yeah,
and
no,
the
for
people that
sure.
hold get the rebase as well.
Yeah. Like I've
Mm.
made so much Taste just from holding all throughout
Yeah,
this.
nice one. Yeah, I know
Like,
you've been here for a long time, man, for sure.
Yeah,
You're diamond hands.
yeah.
Put
I'm not going
a
anywhere.
diamond
Like
name,
I'm really just asking this to
yeah, of course.
see your guys' response, and it's just reassuring, like as a holder, to see confidence within the developers, especially during this huge market crash. There's so many projects that I had in my wallet, and I was going through. It's like, damn, what do I actually trust to recover? And this is one of the few that I was like, all right, I'm not gonna liquidate this. I'm not
Mikey and Nadina have the vision, so and I mean it shows. Mikey's here answering. You've got the developer here answering the questions. He's got the vision. You just won't find that in another project. So,
yeah, no, exactly. This isn't just a shit coin. This is a real project.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's what we're aiming for. And I'd also say, just to add to everyone else's comments, whenever you look at any sort of marketplace, okay, I actually wouldn't use the word volatility. I would use the word volume, because volume is ultimately what leads to economies of scale. All right, and economies of scale, as you know, that is where you actually solidify your place in the market. I remember many years ago, people. I mean, just name your marketplace. I'm not going to name any names. I'm sure you guys know kind of the big ones. But if you go back a couple of years, people were asking the same questions, and they were like, the profit margins are slim and blah blah blah. But you know what? The vision there wasn't a big deal, because the founders knew that with volume, it would grow. And with volume, a lot of what you're talking about, it kind of it mitigates it. So I wouldn't use the word volatility. I would say volume is really, and with that, of course, you have to attract people to want to sell and buy products on the marketplace. And with that, you need a good marketplace to begin with, and that's exactly what we're working on. So
Yeah. No. I think like using your token as the token for your NFT marketplace is phenomenal, because there's nobody doing that. Like
Dude, it's actually funny. That's why I've literally spent tens of thousands of dollars, like personally, not even wanting to wait for the damn many marketing funds to become available, because the more I research, and I do it pretty heavily on like anything out there that might be somewhat even similar to doing this, the only thing I come back to is NFT art, and they've been around for a month and a half. And after starting our own project and doing some like having some hard conversations with developers and looking at all the details, it's really fucking expensive to actually get a marketplace put together. So that's why a lot of people talk about how they're going to do it as part of their like plan, but it never happens. So seeing that there isn't anything out there that has done anything on the sensual side, yeah, you have your ones that are leading towards like vulgar and porn. It's like porn coin. There's cummies. There's another one. I think it's like an eggplant, something like that, with the best nudes in the market. But like there is nothing that I have found that focuses exactly on this. And even if they get close to it, to be able to afford it and get it out there, so we talked to several developers. They said, "Oh yeah, we can get plans together in like 2 months, and we might be able to get it done in like 5 months." And why do y'all think that NFTR hasn't got their marketplace up yet? And they were launched a month and a half ago. It's very expensive, and it takes a lot of planning. And I really appreciate the moderators, because I've not been in the chat as much as I would love to be, because like it's like a lot of calls, a lot of meetings. But like, yeah, we're really pushing for it, because I want this to be out there before someone figures it out and tries to play catch up. So it's a time game right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I don't know, like I feel like it's a lot easier to create like an NFT marketplace. Like if you do look at Cummies, like I mean honestly, like looking at Cummies, like I think their quality of NFTs is just very subpar. Their liquidity is absolute trash.
And they only take Airbnb. I'm like, guys,
yeah, exactly.
Why the hell would you make a platform without taking your damn token?
There's just no true utility from it. Like it, and like it, like in it, like a marketplace that's just taking like B&B, like it's like
All
you could pay somebody. You could pay somebody on Fiverr to do that. You can find the source code on GitHub for that. Like that's not really like pushing the envelope. That's just it's laying the ground for the foundation that you're going to build the fucking empire on. And I fucking respect that.
Yeah, it's pretty. Like I was even talking to Dina today after we got done with another meeting, and I was like, "This is gonna be bigger than I thought. Like this is gonna be weird." Because like you look at like, okay, so we got the token has to be what has to be used in the platform. We look at like we've been reviewing and meeting with actually different artists that like their work, and there's a lot of them that do fucking really quality like eye-catching work. And we're like, wow, they start putting this stuff on our platform, and then people go and see it, and then they say, how do I acquire it? And you got to get our token to do it, and yeah, it's interesting. Like I don't want to give away like details of like hype up the project, but I'm fucking excited. So I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, no, dude, and it's just reassuring to see that you're hyped up about the project. Like there's so much shit in the market right now, and I'm just glad you're doing this, man. I'm happy to see that you're happy about this.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool building and everything. But yeah, the meeting with people, and it's really cool. But yeah, I won't talk overtake the chat. I do that sometimes, so I'll let everyone else ask any questions that they have and talk.
All right.
Thanks, man. And TB, thanks for all the nice commentary, man. People need to hear stuff like that. Appreciate it, brother. I do have a couple more questions here in the DMs. So I just want to get through just a few more. So I have one here from a member. He said, "Hey, what is the incentive for people to buy NFTs as opposed to just going on Instagram and staring at tasteful Instagram models? Just curious, what is going to give us that edge? Why are models going to create NFTs instead of creating an Instagram page?" So yeah, man. Hey, that's a good question. But I think that is more. I mean, that is a question. I mean, basically, you're kind of that's a question for like the value proposition behind NFTs in the first place, right? And I mean, look, yeah, I mean, you could absolutely go on Instagram and look at any given Instagram influencer for free. But people want to own something which is unique, and they want to hold it and they want to trade it, and you can't do that on Instagram. And then you also, the second part of your question was, well, is it going to be profitable for the content creator? Well, so I mean, how does someone make money on Instagram? They have to have a lot of followers. They have to get like a lot of clicks or whatever. I mean, they have to have like a lot of interactions, because basically, Instagram then deems them worthy of some sort of, revenue, or some sort of payment, because they're bringing eyes to the platform. Maybe they advertise some products, whatever. So that is one way to make money. Now, I think, and I'm just going to go out on a limb here, but when you look at NFTs, the value proposition there, I think is appealing in a couple of ways, because, I don't know how many of you guys actually have tried to maintain like your own Instagram, like I'm talking like a professional, like a, well, not professional, but like a business page or whatever. I can tell you, haven't done very well. I think I have like 34 followers. It's a lot of work, and even if you have thousands, I mean, you have to constantly, every day, you got to put out content every single day. You have to keep your however many followers you have engaged, and the more followers you have, the harder it is. Now, the cool thing about NFTs is that if you create unique quality artwork, whether it's tasteful or tasteless, um, people are going to buy it. And when they do, and when they trade it, so when they do, you're going to get a very good percentage of that sale, number one. And also, two, so there's royalties, right? So every time it's traded, you're still going to pick up part of that. So it's like passive income, really. So that is kind of, and that's just, I'm not actually speaking exclusively just for our NFT marketplace here. I'm just talking about like the value proposition behind NFTs writ large. And I think, the problem is like a lot of people, either they don't really understand what NFTs are, or there's been so much hype behind NFTs, and quite frankly, there's been a lot of nonsense within this segment that kind of people, it's kind of diluted from the real value proposition behind the original idea. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, you are not going to see that on our platform. It will be profitable for the content creator, assuming that they produce quality art, which is what we're trying to attract, which is why we're building this brand in this niche marketplace. And by doing that, it will absolutely be within their interest to create quality quality content and upload it on our platform. And hey, if they want to go on Instagram and they want to grind day in and day out for a couple extra followers, I mean, power to them. That there's plenty of money to be made there as well. It's just a different business model. So, Nick, did you have something you want to add to that? I know you're a content
Yeah, I
creator
did. I
yourself.
just wanted to say, just to talk about NFTs, um, like a lot of people, I've seen this argument many times. But oh man, you could just screenshot it, and you can screenshot it. But that's not. You either get NFTs or you don't get NFTs. That's kind of the kind of thing that you got to understand. It's like there's guys out there that used to collect Pokemon cards, and some people don't collect cards. It's about, this is like the new age digital cards. That's what you got to understand. People don't collect cards anymore, but they collect NFTs. And I'm into NFTs. See, I'm someone that's like, I dig that, because the smart contract, I own that NFT. It's not, there's no other version of that NFT. And that's what the value is in it. It's a digital NFT, and as the world goes as it goes, I mean, sadly, you know, there is some, I guess, real art, we might say, that might disappear. But a lot of that real art, which someone can be, you know, they could put an artistic drawing of a woman, a tasty one, and say tasteless type one or whatever. They could draw that, create that, turn that into maybe digital art, and they could sell that. They could upload that to the platform as a digital piece. Think about how many people you've seen on the road, those street guys, you know, that draw, like they do those faces. Now imagine if you could order that kind of stuff and do like a digital NFT or something like that that you own on the blockchain. You know, it's endless. It's endless what can be done. You know, and even Instagram now is looking at NFTs. And when big platforms are looking at NFTs, it's seriously the future is NFTs. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, man, that's I mean that those are good comments, man. I mean, it's and look, we're only talking about art, you know, we're talking about tasteful and tasteless art. Um, I mean, we've had a couple. If you guys pop in like the middle of the night chats, I know I have a couple time. I don't think he's on tonight. I don't see him, but Nil, you guys should talk to Nil. Um, Dude's got all kinds of different ideas in terms of the practical use applications for this technology. I mean, I'm not going to go on about it tonight because it's not the focus of tonight's chat. But long story short, the possibilities are endless. You know, everything from elections to PII, your personal identifiable information, to banking. I mean, there are so many use case scenarios which um, simply have not been monetized yet, but they will. And it'll take time. Bitcoin didn't become big overnight either. But yeah, but yeah, we're focused on the art piece, the sensual art, and that's where we're going to start. And just to kind of wrap it up, we believe that we will not only attract quality content, but also it'll be within their financial interest, and ours as a community for them to join our platform. So I have so it's 10:15. We've went on for about an hour and 15 minutes tonight, that's cool. Let me see. I'm just gonna answer one more question here I have in my DMs. Okay. So, all right. You probably already thought of this, but what about putting a link on the website to have people apply to become content creators on the platform before it launches, rather than the team reaching out to creators prior to launch? And maybe have a counter on the landing page of the website, how many creators are going to be put on the platform at a launch date. Yeah, man. So fair question. I think this kind of dovetails off of what was asked earlier. But yeah, like I said, so we're reaching out to folks to kind of get the word out there, but we're not really like it's not like NFT artist for hire, right? So, and I think that's kind of where we've had a little, I don't want to say miscommunication, but a lot of NFT artists that we have talked to already have been like, okay, well, if I create one NFT, it's $500, and if I do this, they're kind of missing the concept. The concept is we're not going to be buying their art to then resale. Okay, we're not Craigslist. We're looking to create a platform to attract them to where they can sell it directly to the consumer, which is either you guys or people out there who don't even know exist yet. But when they do find out, they'll buy our token, and they will because they want to buy that art. Um, so that's kind of where the messaging lies. However, to your point, and it is a good one, you know, putting a link on the website for people to message us and engage us directly, just in case like they happen to run across us while they're up late one night creating a piece and they run across us on like Google. That's a really good suggestion. I actually haven't heard that one yet. And I think we should absolutely do that, because not only do we want to proactively reach out to people, and we would hope that the community is proactively reaching out to people, but also, provide kind of that outlet to where if they run across us, they can also reach out to us easily. Because let's be real, unless you're invested in microcap crypto or doing things that are borderline probably not legal, you're not on Telegram, right?
Hey, I was going to add, Jay, sorry, I heard last piece of that. If anyone goes to the website, there actually is a link. You just click on NFT Marketplace on the front page, and then you'll see Contact Us. It's actually right in the very middle of the page.
There you go, from the boss himself. So,
Yep.
yeah, guys, and we're gonna be, we're gonna be doing a lot more of this once we kind of, I mean, it's not something we're gonna start like the week of launch, but as we kind of, approach, get like a completion date and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna be a lot more aggressive, in reaching out to folks and getting that word out there. So yeah, that'll come, and that's also gonna be, gonna be reflected in our marketing strategy as well. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see. So it's 10:18 Eastern Standard. I don't see too many other questions. Discord. Yep, I see you, DJ. I know you want Discord. For right now, we're it's not out of the question, but we're sticking to Telegram. Um, let's see. So yeah, guys. Some of you guys are still sending me some DMs. I'm just gonna respond to those one on one, just because it's already 10:18, and I want to monetize your guys' time or monopolize your guys' time. But thank you for joining us tonight. I know it's been a rough week, but look, it's gonna get better. All right, it's not the end of the world. Thank you for holding. We're continuing to do what we promised to do, and I think as you guys as time goes on, you guys, and we're able to kind of showcase some of the things that we've been working on, in cooperation with the community and with all your suggestions and insight. I think everyone's going to be really pleased that they held. Okay. So, again, want to thank everyone for your time this evening. If you have any additional questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, whatever, feel free to send them my way, or to Mikey or any of the management team, and we'll make sure we get your response. All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and
And
we'll.
one thing I want to add before you go, guys. Remember, pin messaged for the lottery participation. Make sure to sign up. Currently, we just checked. There's only 11 people that have done it so far. Don't let the 11 people that signed up end up winning those easily. So get in there, sign up, do it, so that you can get one of these NFTs actually when they come out. All right. All right. So that was all I'd add.
All right. Thanks, boss. All right, guys. See you tomorrow, 2100. Same time, same place. Good night.